What's going on, team? Just wanted to check in for my trade recap on Friday. I apologize for not posting on Friday. I was a little bit upset, I'm not gonna lie. I was a little bit mad about what happened. But yeah, let's jump right into it. So today's video will be a um, what's the date of Friday? Friday 24th. So this video will be a trade recap, but also a kind of recap to what I'm wanting to see for tomorrow's price action, right? So yeah, jumping right into the trade, right? So on the hourly time frame, I did mark out some draws on liquidity to where I wanted price to go to. So minus, I will kind of block off where price was kind of looking at the time. So ignoring anything that is past this line, all right? This is just worry about the previous. But yeah, jumping right into it, we did have these hourly highs as well as these hourly highs, and these hourly kind of stack lows down here, this low and this low as well. But overall, the current kind of order flow on the high time frame is bullish, right? So at the time, um, yeah, so current order flow on the high time frame was bearish. I'm like, okay, cool. So, um, coming into kind of pre-market end of Asia session and London opening, we took out these pre-market highs, right? So I was kind of looking to see, what is order flow doing, right? So we get that break of structure here, right? As we made a high, we made a low, we failed to put another high in, therefore we broke down close below this candle here, resulting in a break of structure, right? So on the way down, what did we create? We created a 5 minute fair value gap here. And when price came back into that, I went into the 1 minute and I see that we have on that way up into the 5 minute gap. Wait, what is this? Oh, this was later. Um, let's get rid of this for now. But on the way up into that 5 minute fair value gap, we did we did create a 1 minute fair value gap here, which price broke through with intent, right? We broke through it and we actually broke structure here, which led me to believe that hey, we are gonna continue down to at least take out these lows down here, right? So what ended up happening, right? So if I mark out this time correctly, this was 8:30 on the dot, right? And what did we have at 8:30? We had Euro USD, Euro news, right? But if we know anything about Euro USD and GBP USD, they somewhat correlate in kind of directions. Let's put it that way, right? So even though the news was for Euro USD, um, if I can find that candle, so 8:30 we had that huge push up, right? So what did it cause GU to do? To have that slight push up, right? And what did we do? We Marco was kind of deciding whether it wants to continue to push up upwards, which it wasn't able to, which we closed below this gap, therefore creating that displacement back to the downside. But yeah, I was just wanted to come on here and say that hey, like the trade would have played out for sure. Like I was definitely confident just because we had the sweep of these highs as well as breaking through this fair value gap. This fair value gap with intent, right? To the point we even broke structure. And this is why I always remind you guys to check news, right? Always check news because I was being not cautious, right? Because I had this tab open um, from the beginning of the day and it wasn't refreshed, right? So like I saw like the arrow being somewhere here, and all I saw were like yellow folders, right? So I'm like, okay, cool, we should be good because we're at this time, but I didn't really check the time. I was kind of like, okay, cool, like I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but Forex Factory, it plays off the time that you are. So 8:30, once 8:30 hits, this will then go dark, like the rest of these ones. So at the end of like when I saw it at the time, even though like news was for like 1:30 or something, I thought that that was 8:30 or 8 o'clock or something, and we had the rest of this to go, which I thought this was like 1:30 a.m. or something like that. It was completely my mistake, like completely my mistake. Like this is why it's important for you guys to always check news, right? Because I was kind of like lazy checking this. Like, okay, cool, we have red folders down here, but we haven't hit down here yet, so we're somewhere in this range of like being in yellow and orange, red folder news, which is like, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like I am happy that the trade played out, but I am also disappointed because this I got stopped out because of news. And this is exactly why, right? The trade was going to play out, and then once 8:30 hit, we had that huge push up to the upside, taking out all the people that probably sold off here, as well as tapping into like kind of this 1 minute order block here, and which this fair value gap failed. Therefore, the price continue on this trend, right? But yeah, it's just a reminder that news is important, right? Because even though you're following your plan and you're super confident, you know news is always going to be 50-50. And like if we talk about odds on because you're not going to win it every day in the market, right? Whoever tells you that is lying or whatever. But it's just probable, right? Probable. Like we had a probable setup here, overall bearish on a high time frame. We get a sweep of these pre-market slash London opening. We take out these hourly highs. We get that 5 minute breaker structure. We get that 5 minute fair value gap, right? And we get that displacement back down. Like literally checked off everything. But what stopped us out? News is what stopped us out, right? So this is just a reminder to everybody who watches is that news is important. Always check it, right? This is the mistake I made, and the market did not forgive me on this particular day. So it's just a reminder to be cautious. Read through the news, right? Read through the news and always refresh your page and make sure you're reading the times, right? Because I lazy like I when I say that I lazy checked this, I really did. Because all over here, like I'll show you guys an example. Like it looked like this, right? See how this it's not shaded? Oh wait, no. See how this is not shaded, right? I thought that's what it looked like on for all these, right? And I was like, okay, cool, like we'll be good to go. But at the end of the day, this was my fault. I should have checked. I should have refreshed it. But it's just a reminder to you guys that hey, like you could be really confident in the setup, and then when you see a move like this, you know that you've been done by news. So it's just a reminder for you guys to always check news. All right, always check news. Make sure that you're on the right side of the market. Never trade news. Never ever trade news. If you're gambling. You're pretty much just gambling. It's always 50-50 odds whether you win or not. And even if you do win, imagine the people that bought right here, right? And thinking, oh, okay, news produced this kind of app candle, and you bought at this fair value gap, therefore they get crushed. So, like, again, trading news, especially red photo news, is always a gamble. So never do that. Never, ever, ever do that. But yeah, that was the trade recap for Friday. As you can see, the trade played out, which I'm happy about, but also upset at myself about it because we did miss the move because I got stopped out due to news. But it's just another lesson for me to learn. Come back into the market, not making the same mistakes. So we will learn from it and we will kind of move forward. But just a little mistake like that can cause something like this. So just a reminder for you guys to kind of look out for yourself. And always remember the small things as well. When you're analyzing, you're locked in with analyzing. Don't forget the small things like checking news, right? So that will be a lesson for next time. But jumping into um kind of what I'm looking for Monday, right? So as you can see, that I think we did take out, yeah, these 4 hour highs up here. still being in a overall kind of bearish downtrend, right? So ideally, I do want to see either these highs be swept, or we get a retracement into this fair value gap, this 1 hour fair value gap, which we continue to go down lower, as don't know if market's gonna, push up, do this gap. This is a pretty big gap, so I think what might happen are two things, right? We either come up, take out this high, and then continue on the trend, or we get a simple continuation of a high time frame POI, which is this 1 hour fair value gap here. We get this continuation, maybe get a sweep of this high, and then continue down lower or whatever. Um, but I do think that's what I would do want to see for Monday's price action. For GU, I think that kind of applies for EU as well. I think EU, yeah, EU. Uh, what do we see on the 4 hour? It'll be interesting. Yeah, I mean we filled in this 4 hour gap now. We could just be displacing of this. As I told you guys before, that even though we do breakthrough levels, it is to tap other levels in a trend, especially fair value gaps, especially on the 4 hour closing below this fair value gap, which it broke through from. So the support now turns into resistance, and now we're reacting off this kind of inversion here after tapping into the 4 hour fair value gap here. So so now I would be bearish to take out what? Take out these lows down here, low resistance lows here, and then the final target being here. Oh, so now if we are on the lower time frames, right? So now we've established a bias. Let's see what the 1 hour is doing. So we could hang around this gap and not close above it, but we could come up and take out these highs again, or this high that being formed. We could come take that out before continuing down lower, or we on a lower time frame, you kind of catch that continuation to take out these previous lows down here after already displacing from a 4 hour gap, inversing this 4 hour gap, which was support to continue up higher, sorry, in which it inverse now, uh, so closing below this kind of support area, which was support, making it resistance, and now we're reacting off it of the 5 minute time frame. You could go on multiple fair value gaps here, so it'll be interesting to see what price does. Asia might even take out these lows. London session might open, and we get that retracement up to continue down and take out Asia lows and these lows. So, yeah, we'll see for Monday in terms of gold. Um, well, overall bearish after that huge. This must have been a news candle. I don't know. It might be. Or we just had some bearish intent here. But we're pretty choppy. So I can see that we're starting to make some legs up. So I would say to target this liquidity here, or even this, or lastly, even this if it does hit. So we could be making some moves up higher, just depending on whether we flip this gap or not, right? If we flip this gap, if we inverse this 1 hour gap here, I will continue to go long. So take out, these highs up here, these kind of like trendline liquidity here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but kind of that kind of stacked liquidity up here. But if we do hold off this fair value gap, I do want to see a sweep of these highs. All right, sweep of these highs, filling in the portion that hasn't been filled in of this 1 hour fair value gap to continue down the trend lower. So that's what I would look for Monday's price action. But I will make a video on Monday if I do see a trade on Monday. In terms of news, what is the date for Monday? The 27th. Um, Nothing much to worry about. Nothing, especially for London session and New York session. So, yeah, we'll see what moves we can catch on Monday. But yeah, again, simple mistake I did today, and it cost me to lose a trade. So there's days where you'll be lucky and the trade will go in your direction because of news, and there'll be days like this where you make a simple mistake, that will cost you your trade. So um, winning this trade would have put me back up into profits for the week, but again, we live, we learn, and making sure we don't make the same mistakes again, right? So yeah, that will be for today's Sunday recap, and also kind of like an outlook of what I want to see for tomorrow's price action. And yeah, if I do take a trade tomorrow, I will make that video for you guys to have a look at to see my thoughts and my intentions, and why I thought prices head this way, or why the trade played out or didn't play out. So yeah, but sticking to that one trade a day rule unless I see me get rated on my stops and immediate reverse, and I will go back in again. But again, I did not get back into that trade because I did not see a rate of my stop. I saw us kind of chopping up. Wait, I'll bring it up to you guys. Previous London session, yeah, which was here. Where was it? For market at 8:30. Oh yeah, here we go. As you can see, my stop was above here, and we did not really rate it, right? We did rate it, but again, there was no immediate reversal, so which led me to get off the charts because this therefore doesn't become a raid. Buyers are still showing intent here, so and I wasn't gonna risk another loss. Waiting for this inverse to flip because especially news, it can kind of determine a bias for the rest of the night. So yeah, I wasn't ready to risk it. As again, first of all, my one rule was if we get that immediate reversal off the rate of my stop, which we didn't get. So yeah, which caused me not to get back into the trade. So again, I follow my rules. Um, Lost because of a mistake I made, purely my mistake. So we will learn from it. And yeah, that wraps up today's video. I hope you guys had a blessed weekend. Again, gotta thank the Almighty, the man above, all glory to Him. Would not be in His position if it was not for Him. So I do want to thank Him, and of course, I do just want to say, hope you guys have a good trading week, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless all you guys, and take care. Peace.